It's been 5 years since the deadly BP oil rig explosion and spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, British Petroleum has reached a settlement with the U.S. government for $18.7 billion. It's the largest corporate settlement in U.S. history. The Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion in 2010 killed 11 workers and spewed millions of barrels of oil onto the shorelines of several states. Joining us this morning from Tampa is oil spill claims attorney Thomas Young. Appreciate being able to talk to you about this. I know you weren't directly involved in this particular negotiation, but you have represented interested parties. What's your thoughts on this particular settlement and on BP agreeing to 18.7?
Good morning. Look, I think it is a compromise, and like any settlement, it's not as much as the plaintiffs would have hoped for, but it is finality, and it avoids potentially decades of litigation. So overall, I think it's a good deal for all the parties involved.
So it's still subject to court approval, of course, but at what point will people actually get money?
Sure. Well, this settlement involves the governments of the 5 Gulf Coast states, as well as the cities and counties and parishes within those states. So individuals themselves will not see money directly from this settlement, but their governments will. Some will see the money sooner rather than later, but part of the deal structures the payment over a number of years, up to 18 years, as a matter of fact, to allow BP to pay the $18.5 billion global settlement amount. So it will be structured, but again, it is, in my opinion, better than dealing with an Exxon Valdez style 20 to 30 years of litigation, which, as a matter of fact, just wrapped up a few years ago from 1989.
And Mr. Young, what about, because you mentioned the 5 states that will get it, obviously the U.S. government Clean Water Act violations and natural resources. What about the mom and pop establishments, the restaurants, along the coastline, those kinds of businesses?
Sure. Well, that's a separate settlement that was entered into with BP back in 2012. And that settlement allowed businesses, individuals, employees of businesses, business owners, from mom and pop entities to large Fortune 500 concerns to file claims for economic losses. As of June 8th of this year, so about a month ago, that was the deadline to file a claim. So all the claims for economic losses for businesses throughout the Gulf have been filed. There are approximately 70,000 of these claims pending in a queue, which have to be processed. About $5 billion has been paid out so far, and another probably $8 to $10 billion will go to those businesses over the next 2 years.
Okay, still a long process ahead. Thomas Young, appreciate your time and your expertise.